My last video was all about how to use video marketing to market your therapy clinic, and I'm going to double down on that in this video because I'm going to share with you how you can build trust with your patients even before they call you. My name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist, and over 10 years ago I started my therapy clinic, and over 5 years ago I started Hand Therapy Secrets to help develop therapists' clinical skills and business skills. And this is the business edition. Dun dun dun. So if you're an occupational therapist and you want to start your business or you want to grow your business, this is for you, because started my business and 2 years in, I was really stuck, not knowing what to do. So I was looking for resources and there wasn't too many things out there. And I just, didn't see a lot of OTs out there. Now there's a lot of various business coaches and lots of PTs going out there. But if you're looking for someone who is doing the same thing you're doing, kind of shares a lot of the same values and perspectives that you have, then you are in the right place. So I'm going to share with you how you can build that trust. And if you want to work with me more personally, there's links below where you can just get on my email list, and I run a OT Business Corner program that once you buy it, you're in there for life, and we run it every year. So those are different ways to work with me, but the link's below. But I'm going to share with you how you can build trust with your patients even before they call your clinic. And I'm sharing this very specifically because a few weeks ago I had a patient come in. He came in literally from a video that I've done, right? From a video. So my last video is all about like how you can get started with like creating your videos and use video as a way to market your clinic so you can attract the right people. So I'm looking to attract very specific people into my clinic. So Hands-On Therapy Services is a clinic in Miami, and I'm an out-of-network clinic. So yes, I do see a certain amount of insurance like workers' comp. I take on like pretty complex cases, and I take Medicare. Those are all the insurances that I take. Everything else, so pretty much everything else is out of network, right? Which means my patients have to make a decision on coming to see me. So how do they decide? Well, they don't just call the clinic and then come in. I mean, there's a small percentage of that, but the bigger percentage is I've got to educate them first. I've got to talk about their particular problems first. And then that's how I build trust with them, even before they call my clinic. So I'm going to give you a very simple example. I've got this guy. He actually he does AC for a living, and big guy, strong guy, but he came in because he injured his arm 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he kind of fell asleep, and when he woke up, he thought he was having a stroke because his whole left side was just like a hot mess. His arm wasn't working right, his leg wasn't working right, and it wasn't quite a stroke. So he got the works. He got worked up, no heart issues, no stroke, nothing. But he had this whole left side of his arm and leg feeling numb, feeling weak, very uncoordinated, like the works. He went to therapy, and the therapist was like, oh yeah, we'll just work on making sure you walk better and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, but what about my arm? And they kind of disregarded it. They're like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Either we'll work on it later or it'll get better by itself later. 2 years later, it has not gotten better. 2 years later, it has not gotten better. He finished with his therapy, was getting personal training. Personal training was like, yeah, lift this. Don't be because he's a big dude and he's strong. So, why can't you lift this, And so to a certain extent, that's what personal trainers are. They're there to motivate you. I don't want someone to punch me, to be like, yeah, come on, you can do it, like that's what they do. And there's absolutely, generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I personally probably would like that. Because I need a little swift kick in the butt to do certain things, but his arm was really not working very well. It wasn't so much the pain, but he had a lot of like numbness, weakness, uncoordinated, and he's just like, something is wrong here. But he just didn't know where to go. He didn't know what to look for. And I guess I made a series of videos talking about very particular types of problems when it comes to the nerves, right? And his sister saw it and was like, here. So she shared the video with him, and then he started to watch more of my videos. And when he came in, when he called, my staff spoke to him. They're like, hey, would you like to come in for a free discovery visit, or would you like to come in for an initial evaluation? He was like, sign me up for an initial evaluation. And we came in, and I spent a lot of time. I spoke to him. We did the evaluation. We did the treatment, and we got some results on that first visit. Not all of the results, just some of the results to say, hey, if there's been a change, I can help you, right? And he bought a whole package. He was like, I'm committed. I want the therapy. And in his second visit, because I was like, wow, this guy, seemed like it was going too fast. So sometimes I'm like, I have this mentality. It was like, if it's too fast, easy come, easy go, that type of mentality. Sometimes when they come in really quickly, they also have a tendency to leave really quickly too. So I'm always kind of weary, and I just want to make sure that someone who's coming in, they're going to get the value of coming to my therapy clinic. So I was like, this is really interesting. Like, he came in and, bought the session. And sometimes you can think like, oh my God, it's so good. That's why. But I was like, there's a little bit more to this. And sure enough, in the second visit, I was talking to him, and I was like, oh, by the way, because he's like, oh, I Googled you or whatever. I was like, how'd you find us, by the way? And then he shared more, and he's like, oh, I've been dealing with this problem for 2 years. He kept kind of talking about like all the different specialists he had gone to, and everyone kind of had disregarded his arm and hand because he looks strong. Like, he's a big guy, he's strong. Like, his arms for the most part work. It's just there's this weird sensation with it. And I addressed that in one of my videos. I was talking about the nerves. I was addressing people's concerns, and he just knew. He was like, I knew that you knew what you're talking about because I was watching your videos. And when you think about how you can build trust with your patients even before they call your clinic, even before they come in, they meet you, even before they, do more business with you, it's building that trust. It's creating those videos that I'm, constantly talking about. We're in a video-driven world right now. Images are great. Singing and dancing, it's fine to a certain extent. But if you want to attract people into your therapy business, like, I'm not selling t-shirts here, right? I'm not selling t-shirts. I'm not selling, $5 shit that you can buy online. People have to make a decision to come to your therapy clinic to take care of a problem that they could also just ignore. So therapy is considered a grudge purchase, meaning like there's no excitement. You don't look better because you come in for therapy. People are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on their nails, hundreds and thousands of dollars on their hair, but then when it comes to therapy, it's like, well, why wouldn't they spend that? And it's not because they don't value their health. It's just because they're not used to spending that kind of money for therapy. And therapy makes you feel better. Therapy makes you feel better, but you don't look better necessarily. Other people can't look at you and be like, you went to therapy and that's why you look so good, right? No. They just know that you can move your arms, that you can do a sport, you can do an activity, but they don't know how you feel. So your patients, it's the same thing, right? It's like nobody can see it. So, and it takes effort. It takes effort. People just want to come in. I had a guy come in. He's like, well, can't you just do something? Can't you just crack it or do something? I was like, no, you went somewhere and you got it cracked, and look at where you are. You're here in my clinic. It didn't freaking work. And it's because therapy can take a little bit more effort, right? It can. And so how do we educate our patients? We educate, like, our potential patients, we educate them by creating valuable information that they don't know. So you have to think about the kind of information that you're putting out there that is beyond what Google is doing, right? You just put out there like and now with AI, like, everyone's putting out really generic information, right? They're putting out very generic information. Oh, this is your problem, X, you have I don't know, you have carpal tunnel. This is what it looks like. This is, you go to therapy and you wear a brace. Like, that's it. But your information as a clinician needs to be more specific, needs to address why they should take care of it. It needs to address the consequences of not taking care of it. It needs to address the consequence of getting bad therapy. Oh, what's the difference between good therapy and bad therapy? Shit, yes. We as therapy clinics need to put that type of information out there. And I know you might look and say, oh, well, there's so much information out there, but nobody's doing it the way you're doing it, right? I had to get over that too. Like, oh, I would look and I'm inundated with stuff because I'm looking for it. But most people, they're not. They're only looking when they have the problem. And then you want to share it. Nobody's sharing it the way you share it. No one's doing it the way you're doing it. I had to get that out of my head when I first started as well, because you think, oh, like, there's all these people sharing videos, but nobody's sharing it the way you're sharing it. And someone's going to resonate with you that they're not going to resonate with someone else. And so you're essentially denying your potential future patient the opportunity to work with you, because they could connect with you and they're not connecting with other businesses, right? So I had to really get over that myself. I still have to do it now. Like, look, I'm doing business videos. If you are starting out your business and you are wanting to grow your business, yeah, there's a lot of people doing this shit, but nobody's doing it the way I'm doing it. Nobody's sharing with you the way I'm sharing with you. And I hope that if something about the topics and the way I share with you resonate with you, and you're like, she sounds like she could help me, my links are below. You can work with me, right? And so creating the videos, and sharing your perspective is one of the best ways, right? One of the best ways to build trust with someone who doesn't even know you and doesn't know that, hey, like, they even needed your help for as much as they needed it, right? So, if you are starting your therapy business, you're an occupational therapist starting your therapy business, you're an occupational therapist looking to grow your business. I was that person, 2 years into my business. I was like, the things that I'm doing, it's not working. I need help. And I started to look for it. And, that's when I started down the rabbit hole of, buying into various different programs and getting business coaching so that I could too learn business skills. Just because you're a therapist, just because you're a clinician, you are really great at what you do, right? Because you wouldn't start your therapy business unless you thought that you were really good at X, Y, and Z. I started my therapy clinic because I'm like, I know my shit when it comes to hand therapy, but you don't have the business skills. That's a whole nother area of skills that need to be developed. So don't sell yourself short. Make sure that you're getting the help that you need, just like you want your patients to get the help that they need, right? So I hope this video helps. Build trust with your potential patients. Build it. There's so many different ways of doing it. One way is video format. I'm a big fan of it. Most people are consuming video content now, and you've just got to get on that ball and start doing it. So let me know if you need help. If you like this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and my links to work with me are below. So hopefully see you on the inside.